Oh, today's been a day, guys. We're pretty fucking tired. How we all feeling?
Tired.
Yeah.
Fucking exhausted.
Yeah.
Stressed and tired.
So it's right on the money. Yeah.
You might hear it in our voices. We're tired.
Yeah. What are you sucking down on over there?
This is a caramel frap.
Karma frap. You see, we're all on brand.
Yeah, we're
We're all on brand. Well, that brings us to our intro. Welcome to Karma and Tranquility, everybody. Alright, guys. So we had an interesting conversation today. Will, we wanted to ask you a question.
What's up?
Me and Manny had plans.
Super important question, alright?
Yeah. Manny, I'm going to let you take this one.
Yeah, not to put you on the spot. Just be honest, okay?
Alright.
What are your opinions, your thoughts on the band Nickelback? Be honest.
Don't listen to it too much. Just because,
okay.
Why? There's other music that I can discover that has a chance of being better. Why?
Well, okay.
Don't-
What's your thoughts? Yeah, you danced around it.
I don't listen to Nickelback. I don't.
Do you think Nickelback is good or is it bad? There's no in between. It's either good or bad.
It's not on my radar, so I'm gonna say bad.
Thank you.
I'm gonna say
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's also my perspective as well. Jared, do you wanna?
Yeah, I don't think they're a good band. Okay? I'll say that. But Nickelback does have some songs that I enjoy.
I'd rather listen to Coldplay over Nickelback.
I would
100%.
I would rather listen to like scratching of a chalkboard.
I actually like Coldplay, I should say that, but I don't want to listen to Nickelback. Why would I do that to myself?
Right. Why? No one. Yeah. You would have to hate yourself. I'm sorry to any Nickelback fans out there that might be listening, but.
There's a very small handful of songs I'd like to listen to from Nickelback. But that doesn't mean that I'm over the moon about the band or think they're a good band. I know they're not. But there's some songs I can get down with, if you know what I'm saying.
If you think he's good, why don't you make a podcast and prove it to us? How about
Yeah, you know
make
what?
your own,
You can't
make a
make a
Nickelback.
Karma and Tranquility on Nickelback.
No one will listen to it.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's listening to
Yeah,
that.
Pennyback, the podcast.
Penny
Nickel
Give me my nickel
pod. Nickel. Give me my nickel. Yeah. The story of how they became a band is as interesting as you think it is. I bet you can guess how they got
There's
their name.
nothing
their name,
interesting
sorry,
about-
how they got their name. Oh, that's the laundry. Apparently, if I read it right, he literally said they were at a grocery store. I didn't read this, but I heard it. But they were at a grocery store and the person said hey, do you want your nickel back or something?
Bro.
I swear to God, either it was a fan.
Where did you read that?
I just Googled it, I think, a long time ago. I think if you Google it,
So hold
it's
on.
right.
So hold on.
Hey, fake fact checker in the corner of the room, can you check that? All right, cool. We don't have one. Sorry.
Hold on. But that means that you at some point were Googling Nickelback for some
Yes.
reason.
I was probably 13 years old. That's probably what that was.
That's not an excuse, Jared. 13 years old is old enough to know that Nickelback is bad. There's no reason to look
I didn't
up.
say they were good. I'm just saying I liked a couple of their songs. Okay.
I'm just saying, when you're looking up things at 13 that are bad, it's not usually Nickelback. So that's all I'm saying.
I did my fair share of what you're talking about too, and trust me, we're not going to go down that avenue. Hey, everybody, we are here. We are live. This is episode 3 of the podcast. Recording these ahead of time is really fucking with my head because I keep thinking we're a week ahead, but we're 2 weeks. I'm not good at this yet. I never record them this way, but
It's pretty interesting. I never know what day it is. I'm oh yeah, today's Tuesday.
it's like when you're working nonstop and you don't know what fucking day it is.
Yeah.
But that's not work for us. This is fun. We talk about it all day, guys, about when we're recording. We genuinely enjoy this, and I do want to shout out everybody that's been listening so far, all the comments we got on the posts. We got a shit ton on these songs and comments and experiences, and we love to keep up that engagement. It's been amazing so far, and you guys make it fun. Both very good communities. Arctic Monkeys community, you guys got to step it up a little bit. The Strokes communities are posting like crazy. I'm trying to keep it equal posts in each one so we're not overwhelming in another. But last week we did the modern age, and I bet you look good on the dance floor, as well as our bonus episode Glass, Julian's solo song, and Stuck on a Puzzle from the Yellow Submarine movie.
Oh
and
yeah.
EP.
Sorry about that. We didn't say. I think we were very brief on it. But
Yeah,
we didn't really
we
talk about it too
obviously
much.
didn't do our. We're still learning the ways, guys.
We
like,
should
with
watch
the
that movie.
research. We should. Yeah, we should watch the movie.
Just to, like talk about it one day.
I don't know if you. I think I sent a text about that, Manny. Like
Yeah.
Submarine was a movie, and he did say it. Will did say it in the podcast, but I like brushed over it.
So it's got to be the kid that's on the cover.
It is.
That
That's
the kid
what
from
it
the
was.
movie?
Yeah, it's
He
gonna be
looks a
Craig.
little bit like he could be Alex Turner.
He does. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was him, just like younger,
Yeah.
like on the cover.
But now
Same.
looking back on it, like, okay, yeah, we're dumb. That's a
Yeah.
different person. That's a whole
Yeah.
different person.
Yeah, so that's on us. That was just our bad for not doing research. So now we redid how we do research in general. We do it way far ahead of time. So I think I personally have a good mess. I think Will's got some stuff. We all got some stuff like ready to share, like in terms of details for these. All right, so Soma, guys, from Is This It? Is I totally fucked that up. Is This It? Produced by Gordon Raphael, of course. It is a third song on Is This It? The definition that's popping up from Google is the parts of an organism other than the reproductive cells, which is weird, but that's not what they're singing about. They are singing about the fictional drug in Aldous Huxley's dystopian 1932 novel Brave New World, is what I gathered on there. In the book, the populace willingly consumes the happiness-inducing elixir to alleviate their fears. So Soma is what they would take when hard times open their eyes, is what Julian sings. Oh my god, with the laundry. Guys, you can tell we're in a very limited space here. We're either going to have a feature from Brennan or a feature from the fucking laundry machine. You got to pick your poison here. Will, what are your thoughts so far? What do you got written on here for us for this song?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. Before we get into the song, yeah, you said it's from Brave New World. I like how like when artists do that, like they'll reference like a book or like someone else's piece of work, but like it's like a slight reference. It's not like yeah, I haven't read Brave New World or seen the movie or anything like that, any film like adaptation. But I like just like when they like kind of reference something else, but then that's their own like piece. But I don't really have much to say on it besides that.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I got some cool things. Gordon told Sound on Sound how songs like Soma were done track by track and sculpted into non-standard rock sounds. He said, and I quote, "I just spent a long time sculpting the drums and processing them so that they sounded like a machine. I was taking real sounds, opening up the plug-in box containing compressors, equalizers, and amps, and messing around until something real sounded like something fake." So I thought that was a pretty cool description. I don't
cool.
personally like. Once we listen to it, maybe I'll hear that stuff. I don't really remember anything. I like the way he described it as something real, like something fake. So I'm excited to listen in a second and kind of maybe see what he's talking about with that. Unless you guys might.
Yeah,
just
I feel like I know what he's saying.
Okay.
I listened to that song pretty recently, so.
Okay.
But yeah, we could definitely get into that a little bit more. Once you guys hear it, I feel like
get it, yeah.
it's pretty.
Yeah, that's honestly literally almost all of the quotes I could find on this song. I looked up on Reddit for a lot of the, like maybe some underground things that people said about it. I couldn't find much, but we did post about Soma on all our socials to get some of your guys' thoughts, which we will read after we give ours here. We're gonna go through all the fan answers on Reddit and see what you guys had to say about it as well. So guys, you want to give this guy a listen before we start talking about it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool, let's go. All right, guys, that was Soma. I was just saying I hate how short that song is because it's so good. It's like one guitar solo away from being a perfect song. What do you think, Will?
It is. I agree. I wish I had like another verse, so like like a little solo just to push it a little bit longer.
What is the main part? Like what is that considered the chorus?
I feel like because that's the part that repeats again, right? The chorus.
Yeah, but like it's right because obviously the verse is the song, like that's the verse.
The song itself doesn't have like a traditional structure. I
Yeah.
feel like it is very short, but it's like, kind of that definition of like straight to the point. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I like the length of it. Sometimes like I don't need to hear like the verse 3 times.
Yeah,
like,
I
that
agree
it's
with
like,
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear what you guys are saying with like it'd be nice to have like a little extra good
or
solo
something
in there or something. But
Yeah.
there's just something about like, I think those are my favorite Stroke songs, are the ones that are like you really want more of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's how you know it's a good song, when you're like,
Yeah.
I wish they gave us a little bit more in there. So yeah, but I hear what you guys are saying.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an action movie scene where it's like it's really fast and it's like not slow. Some action movies like kind of slow, but it's just really fast and it just goes through it, and it kind of ramps up at the end there too.
Yeah.
Which kind of like that part makes me really like it even more, to be honest.
Yeah, I there's a lot to be said about this song. Number one being that it I remember when I first listened to it and the way that like that chorus is, the guitars, like that's obviously the biggest part about this song, is that part like with the guitars and what they got going on. Like I watched the live version of it, and it's played so nicely with the drums. Like I love how like everything else is muted. You hear the guitar, you hear the drums, and you hear
clean.
Julian until that bass comes like like you can hear it do the slide down.
Yeah.
Like and then everything starts to come in, and then it ends with like the like it's building up,
Right.
and then like
And then it's just like cuts
yeah.
off.
And like that beginning, the like sounds to me like another band. Like it sounds like it's like they're playing like a song from like a rock band from like the 80s, like the way it like starts. It sounds like I'm trying to think of like what song or what band I'm thinking of that it makes it sound like when they do those beginning 3 chords, but I can't think of it. But they sound like bands from like old times.
Yeah.
It
like
kind of sounds like
70s,
one of the Killer songs. I can't think of it right now, but I know like tonight I'll get it. I'm like, oh, like I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it is, but there's something about it. I just can't remember which song. But yeah, I also liked how like Julian starts at the low register and then he goes to the high and then back down to the low register, like cuz the verse he's on is like low register, and then he goes to like the screaming and then back down to the stop, like back like up and down, up
Right.
and down.
Oh, yeah.
So his vocals are like all over the place
really
for this
are.
one.
Yeah.
You kind of get a taste of literally every register he can do. Maybe minus the falsetto, but everything else you get.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I feel like this song too, like this is a really good like intro song, like if you're like introducing someone to the Strokes, and like with the instruments playing too, like Julian's voice is obviously really good, but then each instrument shines really good in this song too, like
Yeah.
the bass, the drums. I didn't really hear. I think we were talking about the drums earlier, how they were mic'd up. I didn't hear a difference.
Yeah. Oh,
Really?
yeah, about how everything sounded
They
like
just sounded
fake.
kind of louder.
Yeah.
They didn't really sound fake. They just sound like they were like the
It-
sound was extra in the drums.
Yeah, I don't know.
what
I
that
think
means.
the fake part to me comes with like the overall sound. So like his voice just sounds very distorted. It almost sounds like it's not from like that time period, like early 2000s. It sounds a little bit older.
Yeah.
And that's honestly my favorite part about it is it just sounds different. It doesn't
Yeah.
sound like a polished song. It sounds like they did it in like their garage. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Which is
really
how a
what-
lot of this album sounds.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
garage rock, which is cool. The drums at the end though, Manny, the like at the
Yeah.
end, like where at the final like piece, that I kind of like
You love
didn't
stuff
really
like that, don't
notice
you?
it. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
really notice it until I just listened to it again, like
Right.
on a good speaker. Like they really like steal the show there at the end, like with everything, like because Julian's screaming and then you got the heavier drums. Like what do you think about that when that shit happens?
Yeah, it's just it's a cool song because it kind of goes like you said. It's all his voice is all over the place, but so is the song itself. Like there's a lot of emotions there, a lot of sounds, and it's cool hearing it on like a bigger speaker.
Yeah.
Because you get like those little nuances that you might have missed. So if you have heard this song already or haven't, like listen to it on like a really good speaker so that you
Yeah.
can get all those little things that Jared was talking about there, because it does make the song overall sound a lot better. It comes off as a very simple song, but if you listen to this with like a big speaker or headphones, like you're gonna hear a lot more than you thought you did.
And Will, our lyric guy, what do you got for us on lyrics?
Yeah, I actually found this on Reddit. I was doing a bunch of research this past week, and it's kind of hard to find like the meanings of some of these beginning songs because it wasn't a lot of it wasn't documented. Or, like there isn't too many interviews going on with their first albums. But for Soma, the lyrics "racing against sunbeams, losing against fig trees." I found this on Reddit from Wakaberry Cherry. That's their username.
Waka.
Well, it says, I think Soma might reference more than just Brave New World. So, Racing against sunbeams, losing against fig trees. First of all, that's pretty cool. It's from a passage from Sylvia Plath's novel The Bell Jar. And the passage was, I saw my life branching out before me like the green fig tree in the story. From the tip of every branch like a fat purple fig, a wonderful future beckoned and winked. One fig was a husband and a happy home and children, and another fig was a famous poet, and another fig was a brilliant professor, and another fig was E.G., the amazing editor, and another fig was Europe and Africa and South America, and it just keeps talking about, like, different figs and different, like, variations of what that person could have turned into, like, different opportunities. Basically, it's just kind of like you are presented with so many opportunities that you just don't choose one, like, because you get paralyzed by your choice. And that's kind of how, like, the beat of the song is. It feels, like, kind of, like, scary, but, like, also uplifting. Like, the guitar, like, dang, dang, dang.
Yeah.
And
because you can't really pinpoint what emotion that's trying to give you.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's, like, yeah, it's a really weird emotion. I don't know how to pinpoint exactly what it's called. But that was someone's presentation, like, racing against sunbeams may be about life overtaking you, too impossibly fast, and too hard to keep up with. And then losing against fig trees, that sense of loss you feel when you seize one opportunity, but you lost the rest of the opportunities because you can only make one choice sometimes. You can't make 10 choices.
Yeah.
That was a really cool interpretation. So Waka Berry Cherry. Cool mind you got.
Solid name.
Nice job. Yeah, love the name, love the description. Thank you for putting that in there. Thank you, Will, for finding that. What do we think for that song? What stole the show in that song? What sticks out the most for you?
I think it's just the sound of his voice for me.
Okay.
That's like what I like about it the most. What about you guys?
Yeah, definitely Julian's voice. It's just crazy how he made the guitar parts, right? He made the vocals, the lyrics, and everything. Like he didn't make everyone's part.
No, he writes the lyrics, I believe. Now there's never like you can never know for sure like who did what unless it's literally documented and notated the fact, but nothing was like I'm pretty sure Nick and Albert like write like that kind of stuff, or they at least work together. Like all songs are written by the Strokes, but like he writes like the lyrics with it. So Albert and Nick get like most of the credit like for that stuff. Like they're genius. Both of them are genius guitarists. Yeah. Okay. Both of them are amazing. Like I could do a whole episode on how much I love what those guys do together. Like it's not common in a band like this, or just in a band setting where like you have two guitarists that are equally as genius with what they can like provide. Like you usually have a rhythm guitarist and a lead guitarist, and the lead guitarist does the stuff that's like all finger picky and stuff like that. But in this band, they like swap. Like that's why we had to look up live, like who was playing the solo. They literally swap off like back and forth.
The live video for this is like the best thing ever. Like I've had that on repeat every single day.
That live concert is the one we were talking about, the MTV. The 2 thing. Yeah.
But yeah, like when he gets to that part where it says tried it once and they liked it and like their guitars start going off, the drums start going off, and like everything's going up. I love that part.
What did you say was it the guitars you said? That was what stood out?
Yeah. Like this song made me want to learn how to play it.
Okay. You said the voice though is what stood out.
Yeah, the voice, yeah.
For me it's for sure. For me it's the guitars, like for this one all the way. I know the past couple songs I was talking about the drums a lot, but this song for sure, like that riff and the chorus, like again, I still remember when I heard it for the first time, and it was one of those songs on this record where I was like, now I get like what this record is about. Like they're like, and it's so simple. It's just dun, 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 dun. But it's just the way that it's done. Like that's how the Strokes like get you. Just the way that they sound. They sound like they came out of a 60s or 70s band that were just up-tuned with modern technology.
Right.
Like it's insane what they've been able to do. All right, guys. We are on the fan comments question for Soma here. So we're going to list all these guys here. So from no_personality7231, the performance on Conan O'Brien is amazing as well. Incredible song, and good God, Julian's voice was impeccable in the Is This It era tour. That is something we've talked about before. His live performance, like his performing from like the first 4 albums is absolutely incredible. Like sometimes you can't even tell that the song is this like live. Like it just sounds like it's over. Yeah. I've never seen the Conan O'Brien. I'm glad. Thank you for linking that, by the way. We're gonna look it up. So thank you for that. That's a great comment. Panda Sun 250. Honestly, my least favorite from Is This It. Still good though. Wow. I don't think I could ever convince myself this is my least favorite. But again, like, we got to get through it all. I'm sure there's one on here I'll be able to clearly think it's my least favorite.
Yeah.
But what's funny is I feel like it would probably be Is This It for me. but I don't know yet. I'm kind of liking revisiting this. Federal Underground Surround 5815, one of my favorites. No Gazelle 1829. I personally love it, but in the context of the album, I think it's just alright. I personally dislike how muffled Julian's vocals are for the majority of the song, which is really my main gripe with the track. However, the music itself is really cool and moody, which I think balances it out to being a good song, just not a great one. You know what? I really respect that comment, because I agree that the music is the best part about it. This is, I think, the first track where I didn't say that, like, Julian's voice really carries it. I think for the first, like, couple songs, like, the music for me does drive this one. I think it being shorter is kind of one of the reasons why people don't love it as much. I know, Manny, you said you kind of like that it's shortened to the point.
Yeah.
But I think it's because it doesn't have as much to offer overall that maybe some people think that it's, like, not the best.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's not typically like the song that you would like bump in the car. You know what I mean? Because it's like a quick thing. So like I could understand that, but yeah.
A lot of the comments coming up are pretty much great stuff. So, let's see. Alicia's Low Key said classic. Enough said. Looney Wooney said top 3 song from Is This It at least. Tiente Cappy. Sorry if I butchered that. My God, it's in my top 3. I love this song so fucking much. Everything's so amazing here. Awesome. Ulu 623-4317. There are not enough thoughts on this song, just feelings. That's a good comment. I think, Will, you said something like that.
Yeah.
You said something about that with, like, the guitar and how it made you feel.
Yeah, right. That's how a lot of Julian's, like, his first couple albums are. It's, if you can actually, like, just turn his voice out, especially like this song. His voice doesn't really carry the song. It's more like the instruments, and then you get that feeling.
Yeah.
He turns up at the end, and that's when I feel like he carries the song, that last minute.
Yeah.
When he's, like, screaming.
Well, yeah, that's the... Yep.
But yeah, it's just...
I agree.
It's like a big feeling song. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Upbeat_organization 6 said, this is the concert I wish I could go back in time and see, specifically this song and the modern age. That's a good question for you guys. If you could go back and see a tour of any band, what would it be? For me, I can automatically say it's the Beatles at Washington, D.C., when they played in D.C. for the first time. If you guys are Beatles fans, if you go back and watch that show, like, you're going to think that they've been around for 50 years.
Are you saying, like, that you're there, or that you're just watching?
You're there.
It?
Like, you can go back and watch the concert.
Yeah,
like,
no. For me, it's got to be Queen.
See, that's a good one, too.
Yeah, like
Wembley,
Live Aid.
Or Live Aid. Oh,
yeah,
Live Aid would
that,
be so good. Yeah.
That was, like, a historic, like... And I'm assuming, since I'm there, I get to see everything else, too, not just Queen. So, yeah, that would be it for me.
That's a good one.
I haven't been to much yet, unfortunately.
But if you could, like,
yeah.
any time in history, like, what's one...
Oh, like,
one, yeah.
Any that I've seen?
No, just, like, if you
anybody.
could go... Like, he would see the Beatles, if he could. Like, if you could go back...
Yeah. I would have to say Queen, too, yeah.
Queen?
Yeah. I was actually talking about that at work. I was like, I wish I was born back then.
That would be my second pick.
Yeah.
And honestly, if that specific... See, like, a lot of Beatles fans would pick the stadium, the show, the baseball stadium, Shea Stadium. But, like, if you go back, and I have to show you guys sometime, if you go back and watch the DC one, there's something about their aura, their sound, the setup. It's so janky. It's like a wood stage that they put in the middle of the stadium. The Ringo's drums were, like, spun around the wrong way. They just, like, when they got introduced out, the band had to move their own shit to where they wanted it. And Paul's mic wasn't turned up all the way. Like, his mic was fucked up for most of it. And the crowd, obviously, is fucking amazing. But their performance, like, they sound like they're like, back then, what heavy rock sounded like, that's what they sounded like. To me, like, there's certain songs, it's magical what they did in that specific performance. But if that didn't exist, I'd probably choose Queen Live in Montreal. Because that DVD, that live show, Live Aid's amazing. And yeah, you're right, I could see all of them. But the Montreal show with Queen is, in my opinion, Queen's best live performance. If you haven't seen that.
Yeah, no, that's hard to argue. I just think, like, wasn't Live Aid was his last performance, no?
No.
No, what was his last?
Live Aid was like
how
around
soon
the
did
time where he announced that he had, or around the time where he found out he had AIDS.
Yeah, but how soon after that did he pass
They
away?
still released like 2 or 3 more albums or
Okay.
4 as a band, and they had like 2 or 3 more tours. So he
Gotcha,
passed
okay.
away like not like I want to say like 98, like somewhere around that time.
Yeah, we'll have to
So
look that up.
we will have
That's
to look that up.
interesting, yeah.
But we could talk about Queen all
There's
day.
probably Queen fans screaming at us right now.
I know,
You're
I
getting
know.
all this wrong.
Yeah, I know. I love Queen. I could talk about Queen all day for sure. So
You know
that's a
what?
really good question.
Yeah, if we get this wrong, wanks.
We're fucks. We're
We're
wanks.
fucking wanks.
We are wanks at that point.
Yeah.
At that point. Said someone somewhere said one of their very best songs. YUU2B said, yeah, that $2 bill concert is so great. The stage in the center of the room, the lighting and the film look created such a unique ambiance. And the Strokes, and the Strokes were just so well rehearsed and laser focused during that point in their career as a band. You could definitely tell that. The whole band becomes this well-tuned machine operating at max capacity, and then you got Julian as the operator, alternating from lockstep to wavering out the control to somehow exceeding the energy of the whole band with just that classic saturated vocal roar. It's like watching an F1 car driver shoot down the straightaway like a bat out of hell, but still keep every corner tidy and dignified. Love that shit. Also, the guy rocking out in the Mashenka is actually the most important part of the show. That's a really good comment, a really good analysis of that show. And I can agree with every single part that you said. Like you can definitely tell they were on a whole nother level. And what's funny is that they just started, and that's their skill level live.
Like I have it just playing on a loop in front of me, like the performance. It's like a little 20-second loop.
Yeah.
And the lighting and everything, like they're being right there in the center of the room just looks amazing. Like having everyone like gathered around them.
Yeah.
And then just like the performance, the sound of it was really cool.
And they're so close. Like that's an
Yeah.
intimate.
Well, imagine that. That's what the Beatles stage looked like.
Oh, okay.
That it was like that small, but just with thousands
in
and thousands
Shea-
more.
Yeah. in
Not
Shea
non
Stadium.
Shea Stadium, the
No.
Washington D.C., which is the Washington
Oh, okay.
Coliseum. So it's smaller, obviously, than Shea Stadium, but like it was much bigger than that, the Strokes one. But the stage was that big, which was crazy.
What, do you have like a video of that?
Yeah,
Do you?
yeah, I'll show you. Yeah. Elise Lavasseur said, this show lit me up like lightning when it came out. Beautiful write-up. Realistic Brother 152 said, I love the work Nikolai does in the song. The bass line that comes in the hook after being silent gives me a high every time. That's the part I was telling you where it goes like in the main. You know what I'm talking about? That part?
Yeah.
He also said peak Stroke song. They love the Dorian mode in the earlier days, which makes the song sound a lot different than others. I would suggest listening to more Dorian mode songs, okay? And then someone asked for examples. He gave us some, which is awesome. I'm going to pretend like I know what Dorian mode is. I'll have to look that up in a second. Manny, if you want to look that up real quick. But once we find out this definition, I don't know what he's talking about. But Machu Picchu is an example. Reptilia, Alone Together, One Way Trigger. There's a song called Venus by Shocking Blue. Is the best example of a Dorian song. The beginning even sounds a lot like Machu Picchu. The Harry Potter tune is also Dorian. What does it
Now
mean?
I don't know.
All right, so Dorian mode, it says that it's a mode that's in many ways similar to minor, but features a raised 6. So basically, if you started on D, then it's like an ascending scale. So D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and D.
Yeah. So that's what we were kind of looking at on TikTok in that one video that I was talking about. Okay,
exactly.
cool.
Yep.
Hey man, thanks for sharing that.
Thanks
That's
for
awesome.
educating us.
Seriously,
Yeah,
thank you.
that's
We
cool.
really that's a really good comment. We got Boring Clay Doll that said it is one of my favorite Stroke songs, if not my actual favorite. That's our last one we got there. Thank you, Strokes community, for all those comments. They were really, really good, very insightful and helpful. Manny, did you find out when Freddie Mercury died?
Yeah, I did. So Live Aid was, let's see here, July of 85. He passed away in November 91.
Oh fuck!
Yeah,
I knew
so
it was
good.
something. Damn.
Yeah, so a good couple years afterwards. So
Yeah, and they pumped out records like it was like hotcakes. Queen.
Yeah, they had to.
Yeah. Well, I love his quote where he said, "You can do anything that you want with my music, just don't make me boring."
Yeah.
That's such a Freddie
That
quote,
is,
and I
yeah.
fucking love him, and I love that. Rankings time, guys. Our favorite time of the day. I'll go ahead. I'm giving this one a 4.
4?
Yep.
Four's pretty
I
good.
never skip it. I rarely skip it. It's a very good song. It's not to 5 level for me, but I don't skip it often. It's a great song, great stroke song. Like you're right, I would show this to someone who like wants to know like early strokes.
I'll give it a 5 to be honest. I was
Ooh, a
coming in with a
5.
4.
Yeah.
But like I said, this past week, every day I've been listening to it at least once, sometimes like 10 times. It kind of varies.
10 times. Love it.
Just have it on repeat. And it just grew. It's been growing on me, and I know like the more I listen to it, it's just like the strokes. Like the more you listen to them, the more you're gonna love them. That's what I told my sister too.
Yeah.
But yeah, just straight
Will's
up
a
5.
5-star man.
I give this one a 5. Soma, great.
5-star.
Will, you just dish out the 5s. I love it.
I'm being honest. Like if it doesn't deserve a 5, I won't give it. But like this is one I'll never skip, and it's just growing on me, man.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. I feel like we always like justify ourselves by giving high scores. We don't have to justify it. We're fucking
Yeah,
with
if you
that.
think that this is a 5, it's a 5.
Yeah,
that's
we're
fine.
not the goddamn Rotten Tomatoes here of music.
Yeah.
We're the audience score. That's
Yeah.
what we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, I love this song. I really do. It's a great song. I'm trying to balance my list out because, like, realistically, like, I love all their music and everything could be a 5 or a 4. I'm gonna put this one at 3, just because I think it's really, really good. Is it a song that I might skip sometimes? Yeah, I'll be honest. It's not my favorite in the on the whole album, but it's like it's a really, really great song. I love the song. I'm gonna put it at a 3 just because I don't think it's one of their best ones on this album, and I do think that there are some 5s on here. So I wanna keep a little distance between like my 5s and 4s and 3s. So this one's a 3 for me.
I think the rankings is something we should probably think of a little bit more ahead of time because like if you think about it, like I'm pretty sure did I give the Modern Age a 4? I feel like I gave the Modern Age a 4. But like then if I really step back and think about it, I feel like the Modern Age is a better song. So why wouldn't that be a 5? So I think down the line we might incorporate points, like 4 points something. We'll probably try to have that ready for the next episode.
It's like I said, the last episode, like, oh, this is a high 4 for me.
Yeah. It's tough.
It's not quite a 5, but
it's a low. I guess I would
there.
say it's like a low 4.
Yeah, there you
Whereas
go.
like Modern Age is a high 4, but they're both not perfect.
Yeah, I would say this is a high 3 then. It's a really great song.
High 3. So. That makes sense. Yeah, let's stick with that. Let's see how that sticks, how that works. But yeah, guys, that was Soma. Great stroke song. 3rd track on Is This It? And we are moving on to Fake Tales in San Francisco.
Fake
Or
Tales.
of San Francisco. Of Francisco.
Yeah.
There we go. So
Yep.
it's definitely not a song I listen to like a lot, but I have a lot of notes on this one. But I will defer to one of you guys to start on this guy. What do we got? What do we got on this one?
It makes me want to dance.
Makes you want to dance.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
That's in my notes. I love when we'll get to the lyrics part of it. I love just the silence and where it says, "I don't want to hear you, kick me out." Kick me
We'll
out.
get
Also,
to
I'm getting ahead of
the,
myself.
I got a lot on the lyrics too. We'll get to lyrics. I did find
Very
a lot
fun
of stuff.
song,
on
though.
it. Yeah, very fun. What do you got? Anything? You got anything you want to share?
No,
before we get
let's
into it?
let's just jump into it.
Cool. Well, this is Fake Tales of San Francisco. It was originally on the EP 5 Minutes with the Arctic Monkeys, which was released in May 2005. Official release of the album as a promotional single was 2006. It only hit Canada charts, guys, this song. Charted 43 on the Canada.
Shout out to Canada.
Yeah, right?
Good music taste over there.
Yep.
Who knew?
I have a lot of notes on this in terms of the lyrics. That's where a lot of the underground information I could find was on like the lyrical meanings. But this was the 3rd track on their debut album. Whatever people say I am, that's what I'm not. And let's give this a listen, guys. We'll give our thoughts. All right, guys, and that was Fake Tales of San Francisco. What are our thoughts? So I can come out right off and say, I'm just gonna say just ahead of time that this whole album, the drums are the MVP for me, because the main thing, the drums are never what I go to first, like ever. Like when the bass is heavily involved, but the way that he plays like drums in this song or in this whole album is crazy. Like I was trying to find what kind of kit he uses, but the snare, like it sounds like it's so satisfying. That intro on the drums is so satisfying because usually bass is the first place my mind goes and then the drums. But this whole album, I feel like I just won't shut up about the drum playing, and I do love that on this song, whether it's the beginning, whether it's the verses or the breakdown where it gets heavy. Like he's on the full high cymbals the whole time, like heavy drum playing, and I can appreciate that.
Yeah, it's got its own kind of like, when you think of the song, or any song really, like it's the singer, right, is like the main piece.
Yeah.
But like with the drums here, it's almost like he has his own time to shine, and you hear it as soon as like they're kind of trading off back and forth. Like
That's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah, there are literally moments in here where like Alex just stops singing, and then you just hear the drums because that's what they want you to hear. So I think that's really, really cool of them in this song, this whole album, really.
Yeah, they this song, in my opinion, like the melody isn't great. Like it's nothing that's super. And I said earlier, like at when we were talking about the song early in the day, I'm not a big fan of chant songs. So the "Kick Me Out" thing to me is kind of like cringe.
Blasphemy.
Yeah, that's not my thing. But I know you guys like that part. You guys, what do you got, Will? I know you got some stuff.
Yeah, kind of like what Manny said, like how he the guitar is cut out and it's just the drums and his voice. So like they're almost like playing along with each other.
Yeah.
Almost like a game of tag.
The production of this song is good for sure. But like every song on this album, like the production is great.
I have to say though, so with you saying that you don't like the "kick me out" part, I think you're hearing it in the wrong context. So when you saw Arctic Monkeys, did they play this song?
No.
Okay. So like picture, if you will, because this is like early days Arctic Monkey, right? If like you were to hear this in a pub, right, which is where they were playing most of their gigs at the time, and you heard the entire crowd, right? Let's just say it's only 70 to 100 people in there, give or take. But if everyone in that room was just shouting "kick me out," and it's just a bunch of rowdy, drunk, yump, like that's a vibe. Like that's cool. Like I feel like if you hear it in that element, you would appreciate that part a little bit more than just hearing it like whatever playing through a speaker. I think like that would make it a lot cooler.
Well, it's just like I liked I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor before I saw it live, but after seeing it live, I found like a newfound appreciation.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of like with Body Paint, which we'll get to way down the line. That's kind of like a slower song, but the way that song sounds live is awesome. Man, my dog sounded like he just stepped on a cactus or something. But if I saw this song live, I feel like I'd maybe get a different appreciation for it. But like that's the same way with like any song you ever listen to. If you hear it live, usually you get a newfound appreciation for it in general. What do you think, Will? We saw him live. Like what do you think this song would be
Live?
Yeah,
It'd be amazing. Kind of like what Manny said, like that shouting part. It would get like the crowd jumping, moving. Especially the people that know it. If anyone didn't know it, it'd be like, wow, like, oh my god, this is Arctic Monkeys. Like, this is real.
How many people do you think were there when you guys saw them?
Probably like, spacing off like, because there was even some people behind us, like maybe like 300 plus.
Where'd you guys see them at? What was
the Mann Center, right?
The Mann Center?
The Mann in Philly.
The Man, it's probably the best. I think that's
outdoors.
the best venue in Philly.
It was amazing
because it's kind of like a nice outdoor pavilion, good lawn. It was so aesthetic though. You know what I mean? Like it seemed like an artist like sculpture.
It was like
thing.
the shape of it was like kind of like what's the I probably have to look it up. Like when you're sitting in like an outside
like a pavilion type.
Maybe amphitheater, yeah. It was sort of like that, but it was like wooden.
Yeah.
And there was chairs, and there was like huge fans on the ceiling.
It kind of looked like a church.
It says here that the capacity is 14,000. So that's a good. Like imagine imagine like 14,000 people. Let's say it was just maxed out to capacity, just shouting that at the same time. That would be really, really cool.
It would, but. You're right. I mean, if you look into stuff like that, like for sure.
We'll probably talk about that concert a lot, like just because we talk about the Monkeys and like.
Well,
when
it's
we
the
get
only time you're
album.
able to see them.
Yeah, but
and you don't come here often.
That was like a dream. Like that, it felt like when we were there, like the whole world just like closed off.
I know.
It was just that one area.
That was a concert where I don't understand the feelings I had when I was there. Like, I love the band, so of course I was gonna love it. But their presence and the vibe of the people there, I don't know what it was, but there's only been a handful of concerts in my lifetime where I've felt like that, and that concert, Paul McCartney, Radiohead, The Strokes, like they're like the four that come to mind that were the concerts were just like, holy shit, this was like a whole nother level and a whole nother feeling of what went on.
Right.
I can't wait until they come back again for all three of us to go. We're gonna have a whole plethora of things to
Yeah, that's gonna be that'll be a whole episode right there.
Yeah, if you guys can see that can have the the fortune of seeing this band live, like they were phenomenal in every sense of the word. The vocals, the music, the duration, the set list, the rotation.
Hopefully they play this song so you can have more of an appreciation for it.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I doubt it, but
Yeah, me too. But all right, lyrics are a big deal about this, so I know we're gonna spend a little bit amount of time talking about that. Will, what do you got for us lyric wise? Did you have anything before I share my long cascade?
No, I think you should go into that.
You want me to go? Okay.
Cause there's a lot of lyrics that even fans have been like pointing out too. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let the fans kind of do the lyrics on this one.
Yeah. So, I want to read a post from Reddit. It's from a deleted account, so I can't give credit to anybody. But if you type in this song and like lyrical meanings, you can find it. But this song follows a short storyline to express a general theme. It is about bands, and in a more general sense, people who hop onto a bandwagon of unoriginality and cliches, further inspired by nights the Monkees had in their early days, seeing bands that were like this. Okay, sorry, I'm not good at reading this apparently. The story follows a band singing about experiences in San Francisco despite never having been there, and several points conveys the message that even the audience is bored. So some lyrical points here. More point to a wedding disco without a bride or a groom. They're saying that means there is more point to a weddingless wedding than there is to the band's fake tales. Do you guys understand that?
Yeah, that's interesting.
How do you interpret that?
Well, I think like you have to remember like their age at the time. Like when you're younger, like you care about things like that, like posers. You know what I mean? Like I know when I was a kid in school, like I was a big skateboarder, right? And so like, but sometimes you'd see kids in the hallways holding a skateboard. It's like, you don't even fucking skateboard. Like, why are you holding that? You know what I mean? Like, that's just, so I think like that's what I get out of like a lot of the lyrics is like, there's a lot of posers in this scene, and that's with like any music scene or even, like I said, non-music stuff. So that's kind of how I interpret it.
Yeah. Next line is, and there's a super cool band, yeah, with the trilbies and the glasses of white wine and all the weekend rock stars in the toilets practicing their lines. First of all, I don't know what the fuck a trilby is. We have to look that up.
Oh, I was looking at it earlier. I think it's like a certain like a group of band.
Oh wait, no, here we go. In the first lines, Alex sarcastically compliments the band. A trilby is a type of hat generally seen as a signature of people trying to be cool. Alex also mentions how they are simply a weekend band. The fact as if they were living a lavish rock star lifestyle in San Francisco, but they are simply a small local band with jobs on the weekdays.
Right.
So that's kind of what that means.
Yeah.
We thought a trilby was a band. It's a hat.
They could have sort of said it like a band. Yeah, a soft felt hat with a narrow brim and an indented crown.
Nice.
I love that line of like the weekend rock stars like practicing their lines. Yeah. That's really what it is. Like a lot of these people will like, they'll try to perfect their craft. Whereas like you look at bands like The Strokes who had like this really weird sound, and it's not like that crazy to see like the influences there. You know what I mean? Because like, and then even with this song and this whole album, like it's so like rigid. It's not like a smooth album, and I don't mean that in like the terms of like that it's not great. I just mean like there's a lot of emotions, a lot of sounds. It's all over the place. And like a band that is trying to sound really, really great, and like they will practice their lines because they want everything to sound perfect, and that's really not what these guys were about. Yeah,
that's a good point. And then your guys' favorite, I don't want to hear you kick me out. This is the crowd making fun of the band. They are almost begging the band to kick them out of the venue so they don't have to listen anymore.
Yeah, dude. If you've been to like local shows, there are bands like that where you're just like, Nickelback, for instance. No, okay, let me stop. But yeah, but like
shout out to Sam if you're listening.
Yeah, Agent Sam. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, like I think we've all seen bands like that where we're just like, like you guys. I'm sorry, no disrespect, because I think everyone should be able to play music. But if you're up there and you're like, you're posing as like this great, like we can tell, you can see the phoniness essentially.
Yeah.
The band that opened for the Monkees. No
was it?
offense, but I was like, hurry up and like leave. Like,
Well,
I
you just
wanna
wanted to
the
see,
Monkees.
yeah.
No,
I couldn't
well,
even understand
Were they
them.
bad?
Yeah. Well, so I like opening bands a lot, so I like it.
Do you guys know who the band was?
I don't. I
It was
don't.
DC Fontaines or the Fontaines. No, it wasn't the Fontaines, or maybe it was.
I think it was the Fontaine, something like that. But they were off to a good start. At the beginning, I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this is pretty cool," but then I was like, every song following then like sounded the exact same. It was like one of those
Yes. Oh,
situations,
one of those
and it was a
bands.
lot of like the lead singer was definitely really interesting. He was weird. But
He's
he's very
good.
like crowd. Like he interacts with the crowd a lot, which I can appreciate. But you couldn't understand what he was saying half the time.
That's why. Yeah. I
He
was
was just like a
alright.
lot of like it
Yeah,
was
like
very
muffled.
yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know how much of it was them versus like just their gear, whatever they had going on. But yeah, I'm usually a big opening band, but that was not it. But the one line I think was interesting. Yeah, but the bird said it's amazing. So now all that's left is the proof that love's not only blind but deaf. This line is about one of the Fake Tales band members' girlfriends. Referenced here as this bird is basically saying that if a girl can listen to the band's music and call it amazing, that love isn't just blind but also deaf.
Yeah, for anyone that doesn't understand British slang, bird is girlfriend.
I didn't know that till
Yeah.
today. I was like,
Yeah.
alright, that line went over my head. I was like, what is a bird? Like,
Yeah.
I just think of freaking It's Always Sunny. D fucking bird.
Yeah, that's slang for girlfriend. So, but yeah, that is a really good line.
Yeah.
Like his lyrics, even at this age, like
I
how
know.
was he really coming up? It blows my mind.
Yeah. One last piece I want to highlight because me and Manny were talking about this earlier. And yeah, I'd love to tell you all my problems, but you're not from New York City. You're from Rotherham.
Rotherham.
So get off the bandwagon and put down the handbook. Alex is bringing the guy off his high horse. He should stop hopping onto the bandwagon just because it's cool and acting as if he's read how to act from a manual. He isn't from New York City or San Francisco and shouldn't let those places form his identity just because it's a cliche.
Yeah, I think we all know people like that. Like, we'll use our own area, right? Like, we have Reading, but then we have, like, the suburbs, right? And there's definitely kids that were like, yeah, I'm from Reading, but, like, no, you live in Muhlenberg. Like, you're not, that's not the same thing. You know what I mean? You live in West Lawn. That's not the same thing. And that's kind of the vibe that I got. We actually Googled it. Rotherham is 25 miles, or was it 25 minutes? I think it was minutes.
Minutes from it.
Yeah, so Rotherham is only 25 minutes from Sheffield, which is where they're from. And so I think that was like a little dig probably at like, the local scene from over there, kind of like how we would, I mean, to us, that'd probably be what, like Lancaster, Allentown, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
Of like, yeah, you're not from there. Like, you're from fucking Lancaster. Like, stop acting like you're from New York City. You're from Lancaster.
It's a very interesting song. Like the topic, like they're like coming at different bands, but like in a funny sort of way.
Yeah.
It's like almost like cliche.
Yeah, I can't
ironic.
imagine that this song made them many friends on the scene.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's one of those things of like, well, if the shoe fits, like, then yeah, we're talking about you. Yeah.
Well, they had that teenage angst,
Right.
Like back then, and
That's
like
true, yeah.
they're clever in how they're doing it, and they're singing about bands that are acting like posers, not
Right.
bands that are, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's interesting. I do enjoy the lyrics from this song for sure. I can appreciate like good musicianship and good lyrics, and that's definitely what it has. Before we get into the rankings, let's read some comments from Reddit on this song. So I'm going to start with MDon1812. This was the first song I ever heard by them, so it will always hold a special place in my heart. That's awesome. This is interesting. This is an interesting song to start with, I would say. I'd kind of be curious to ask how this was the first song. You know what I mean? Unless you'd like them
where'd
back
you
when it
find
was a
it?
promotional single. Yeah, like maybe that's how. So that's really interesting. Left_elbow45. I used to actually hate it. Was my least favorite. Now I love it. The bass line goes hard and it's very catchy. And not to mention the line everyone else is talking about, which is the kick me out thing.
Yeah.
I could be wrong once I get down, but everyone in this comment section is talking about the lyrics, which is awesome. So this song is a perfect example of why Alex Turner and the Arctic Monkeys are just absolutely genius lyricists. Existential Dread 35 said, love this song, clever lyrics. Yep. Neil McCoy said, it's a great song, but the lyrics are lyrics are kind of ironic now. He talks about San Francisco, but he's from Hunter's Bar. You're not from NYC, you're from Rotherham. Funny hearing this now that they live in and sing about the U.S. and they went through their desert rocker phase during Humbug AM era. Oof. I thought that's an interesting.
That's a good take.
That is a really good comment.
I'm not saying I fully agree with it, but
so someone did disagree with him.
Yeah.
So Golden Trunk, great name there, because that's a really fucking good song from Tranquility Base. Not ironic at all. He was making fun of local bands who pretended to be traveled and multicultural, and then he became successful enough to be well-traveled and multicultural himself. He actually became what the people he was criticizing were pretending to be.
Yeah, like he is that now. Like he is that person now. Well, the whole band. I don't want to just give credit to Alex, but yeah, like exactly. Like he's talking about people that pretended like, yeah, no, we travel. We're a traveling band. But really, like, you're working some retail job on the weekend or during the week or whatever, and then you're playing local shows. So, like, like he's commenting on that, but then at some point they became so successful that they were able to live that actual life. Yeah. So, yeah.
Schmuck Rex said, the song that got me into Arctic Monkeys.
Schmuck Rex.
Yeah. Here we go. Puzzle-Headed Cod 2623. Based off the first album and basically the last minute, reignited my passion for rock music, which had been waning, drumming, and songwriting. Just a fantastic song altogether. Good comment.
Good for you. That's
drumming. Just called out that drumming.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad that you got your passion back for that song. Like,
for sure.
That's awesome.
Electronic Bison 8237 said, I love the lines. I don't quite know the distance, but I'm sure that's far. And you're not from New York City or from Rotherham. One of my favorite AM songs, or Arctic Monkeys songs. Nice. I love his flair is this album. So obviously we got a lot of people that love this album. Lovely Flower _20 said, it's honestly such a good song. I'm Another Person said, my favorite song ever. So underappreciated and deserves all the love. Well, sorry if I offended you. It seems like I'm going to offend a lot of people with how I feel about it. I'm sorry. Golden Trunk again said, his bird said it's amazing though, so all that's left is the truth that love is not only blind as death, is genius and hilarious. Not that many people are able to fit a joke in a song. Yeah, we were just talking about that. That's a good comment. Yeah. Like, they're so clever they can make you kind of laugh at lyrics without it being a Tenacious D song.
Right.
It's so clever, it's funny. Ostrich Song said, one of their best songs. I can picture everything that happens in the song really well, and the ending is amazing. Definitely underrated within discography. It seems like a lot of people think the song is underrated. So I think this song, from what I'm gathering from the fan base, a lot of people enjoy the song. Or at least didn't and then did at some point. And then last one, Octung _Zoo. I assume that's a U2 reference. Maybe not. But fucking love it, and thank you for showing my favorite part. Which I posted a clip of it where the breakdown happens, like the heavier part.
Yeah.
Which is my favorite part from the song, too. That would be my favorite part. Fans, thank you for all those comments. 16 full-length comments on that. We love reading your comments and your thoughts, not only on the songs, but on the podcast. We really appreciate that. And I love doing that because it gives us some extra perspective. Sometimes we're pretty dumb and we need some of that. I think you can agree.
Yeah.
Not dumb, it's just like you can't think of everything to say. Like, you're not a
No, we're dumb. Yeah. We're dumb. It's
Listen,
okay.
This is the smartless version of music podcast.
We're pretty dumb sometimes.
Yeah,
it's all right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay to say you're dumb sometimes.
Yeah. Manny, you got something?
Yeah, I just want to say like that. I love like the last line. They say it a couple times, but I think it's just good. Well, not that part. That is a great part, but
I know.
But it's good advice, man. Like back then it was good advice, and it's good advice now that like if you're trying to do something, right? They say get off the bandwagon, put down the handbook, and I think that's like a good like, dude. No matter what it is that you're trying to do, even if it's been done before, like stop looking at the handbook. Like it doesn't have to be done a certain way. You don't have to jump on a bandwagon and do, they did it this way, so let's do it that way. Like, you can carve out your own way, and it's so much more satisfying that way. Like, imagine if, like, they didn't, take this route and they just went the other way of, like, this is going to sound good for the radio type thing. You know what I mean? They didn't take that approach. And so I think that's, like, a cool outlook to have. Like, no matter what it is that you're doing, don't try to copy other people. Just put
Yeah,
down the
do your own
handbook, do
thing.
your own thing. Yeah, try
And it
it.
obviously worked out.
Yeah, it worked out. It might not work out for you, and if it doesn't, cool. Like,
Keep trying.
but yeah, keep trying, pivot. Work around it. But at no point should you just jump on a bandwagon and do it like
Yeah.
how everyone else
With
is
anything
doing.
in
With
life.
anything, yeah, that's not the way to do it. It's yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, you can't beat them, join them. Like, what? Don't
Yeah,
do
no.
that.
That's
Don't do
called
it.
that's called selling out. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so whack.
All right, guys, this brings us into rankings time. Who wants to go first?
I think you should go first because you don't love the song. So let's hear from you first.
I'm going to give this a high 2.
High
Truly.
2. Okay.
High 2.
Can you explain the high 2? What does that mean again?
So, high 2 is most of the time skip and not a great song, in my opinion.
Okay.
A 1 is like always skip, not good.
Okay.
Like, it's just like the bottom of the barrel song,
Okay.
which I don't even know how often we'll ever have a 1, but it's a high 2 for me.
Okay.
I'll explain it if I didn't already. I love the lyrics. The music is good, but for me, melody is everything. Like the verses I don't like the burn 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 burn. It doesn't grab me at
Okay,
all.
all
Like
right.
and that's most of the song. Like
Yeah.
and the kick me out thing goes right back to that slow type, and then you finally have the breakdown, but it's just for that bridge. Like it's just for that section, and then it goes back. So like I want to like comment like the musicianship and the lyrics are top tier, but to me a song that I want to re-listen to me lyrics don't matter to me as much as like the melody and the music. So if I'm not like I'm catchy with a song, I love it makes me feel something like
Yeah.
like more than normal. That's kind of where it is, and I can't pretend like this is a song that I play over especially the past 2 that we listened to. That I ranked like a 3 and a 4, like
Yeah.
which or 4s, you know what I mean?
Right.
So high 2, I most of the time skip it personally. That's my thoughts. If I didn't give them already, that's what I think.
Okay. What about you, Will?
I'll try. I had to say like a high 3 to be honest. I was thinking about this to be honest. It is a really good song and I do really like it. But like if I'm like all right, I need to put on a good song right now. It's just not when I would like look forward to. It's not when I would type in on my search and put it on. If it comes on, might skip it too. That's why it's not a 4 or 5. But I do like the song though. Like if someone would put it on and didn't skip it, I'd be like, okay, this is a really cool song.
Yeah,
but
that
I just
wouldn't
wouldn't put
bother
it
you.
on myself or
Right.
like I would most likely skip it. But I do like the song.
That's where I usually make my decision.
And it doesn't.
If it's a song that I would like go back and be like, let me put this one
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it does, like you said, it doesn't grab me. Like songs, they have to like hook me and grab me. Like the Strokes, a lot of their songs like literally hook me on. Like the Adults Are Talking.
Yeah.
We'll get to that, but that song hooked me. Like, oh my god, stop!
That's a different band, guys. That's a different band.
Give me
Show
one to
some
listen to
respect.
that.
All right.
But yeah, it just didn't hook me. It's a great song, but I gave it a high 3.
This is a 4 for me.
Oh,
I think this is the first time we're reversed where like I normally give a lower score
Yeah.
and you guys give something higher.
well, that's why I
just-
love this.
Yeah, that's what makes this
I
cool.
live
So,
for this shit.
Yeah, no, I just think like in the context of when I heard this song, like, and again, I am a little bit older than you guys, so like I heard this like when it was a fresh album, so this was like my introductory to art. Like when I think of Arctic Monkeys, this is the first thing I think of is songs like this. So I love that it's still kind of like in their kind of, I don't want to say it's definitely not pop punk, right? But it's like this more punky side of them, right?
Yeah.
In the early stages. So, and it kind of encompasses like the scene at the time. This is what a lot of like the music scene was. It was a lot of poser bands, and then like you had the other bands kind of calling them out. Like that was just kind of like a normal thing. So, I love that they did that. It was a bold thing to do, especially like being such a young band. Like they really could have like just ostracized themselves essentially, you know? So
That's true.
the lyrics are really great. Love the lyrics. The drumming in it is super cool. Like there's those little quick solos that he has in there. Just all around, I love the song. It's a 4. It's a 4 for me. If you think it's not a 4, you guys are
The drums are really good.
you guys are sadly mistaken.
Okay, so yeah, I love the array of or the plethora of different opinions we got on this stuff. I live for that shit.
I feel like the more, if I listen to it more, it's definitely gonna grow on me. So like maybe one day, but yeah, man, you know what? It's a 4.
It's a 4. I'm telling you. You guys hear this a couple more times, like
If you hear it
it's
live-
in the
Here's
right.
the thing: we chose to do a podcast, on two bands that we love, it's gonna be hard to rank anything low. This isn't like, hey, we're doing a podcast on this band that we kind of like. Here we go. Like, that's why it's so cool if we have such like waning like opinions, because no matter what, I love Arctic Monkeys and I love The Strokes.
Right.
It's like, how
more
much
than
do you
anything.
like it though?
So like it's so hard to give any of their stuff a 2 or a 1. So that's when I think about it and I'm like, what songs can I absolutely live without? That's like what I look at it.
The song to me is like a salad. Like, I would never order a salad, but it's pretty good. I'm not gonna shit on it.
Yeah, I'd never order salad just because I'd never order salad.
Why would you go to a restaurant and order salad? You could literally make it.
Yeah, I'm not a fucking triceratops. Eating leaves and shit.
I just want to say there's nothing wrong with eating salads. Just
No,
in
no,
case,
no.
Sorry,
in
guys,
case
I
people.
didn't
No,
mean
nothing
to
wrong with
offend
other
the
things.
salads.
Yeah.
Nothing
If
wrong
you
with
like
eating salad.
salads, that's fine.
Yeah.
You can have your salad.
Yeah, and eat it too.
Yes, thank you.
All right, guys. Well, that was a pretty fucking successful episode, if you ask me. You guys asked for accent, so there it is.
That is not. Yeah, that's a Western accent.
You didn't say what accent.
Look, next. All right, guys. Next episode, I think, because someone did comment. I forget where. Was it Reddit?
Probably.
Someone said that we should do our best British accent. So I think maybe in the beginning of the next episode, we all three of us give it a go. You maybe let us know
Thank you
who
for
had the
that,
best. Yeah, who had the best British accent. We're gonna find that out.
Yeah,
I think
that,
that's
like-
important.
Yeah.
Amongst my friend groups, the accent is like the thing. Like, if you just break out an accent, it's like, all right.
Well, mate, if you want me to talk like
Very
I'm from
interesting.
British, I can talk like I'm Britain.
That-
Can
I-
we might want to do like we
Might-
can do like a New York thing, a New York
Hey, I
accent.
can't talk like
I'm
from
walking
New York.
here.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, let me get a bacon, egg, and cheese.
What in the hell? See,
That was a cowboy.
I always,
What the hell?
I always end up going back to the savannah. All right, guys. Well, that was a pretty turkey stuffed gravy episode, if you know what I mean. I don't know what the fuck I just said. There was a stuffed turkey of an episode there.
What are you on?
We're making our own British lingo.
Yeah,
lingo.
lingo.
Yeah, there you go. Look,
Yes,
that's it right there. Lingo.
Making me
Lingo.
hungry talking about turkeys.
All right, it is song recommendation time, real quick. Manny, what you got? What are you listening to these days today?
So not a specific song, but I like to kind of go back, to my past a little bit. And I don't know if you guys like heavy stuff. Bring Me the Horizon. All right, and there's a lot of different, there's like their newer stuff, which is a lot more poppier or whatever. I've been going back and listening to like a lot of their older stuff, so I don't know if you know any of that stuff, but like I'm talking like Chelsea Smile is probably like my favorite thing of theirs.
I saw them in Fall Out Boy.
Oh, nice.
Last
nice.
summer.
Oh, last summer. So you probably heard like a lot of their newer stuff. I don't think Oliver Sykes is doing a whole lot of screaming anymore these days.
He did his fair share.
Yeah, no, I bet. Yeah. I think at this point, like, he's lucky to even have vocal cords with, like, if you're not familiar, like, listen to, like, what they started as and then what they are now. Both good, but very, very different styles of music. I personally prefer their heavier stuff.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what I've been listening to lately.
That's a good band.
Yeah. What about you?
Lately, like this past week, I haven't really been listening to like any new music or any like just like music in general, like that kind of want to think about like a band or something. It's been mostly like thematic music.
Okay.
Like Hans Zimmer, like the
I was
Interstellar.
gonna say that.
For real?
Oh, he's
I've been listening to Hans Zimmer.
That's crazy.
dude.
We're usually on the same like kind of like
yeah.
vibe.
Fuck.
every
You
once
guys
in a
should
while.
just kiss. Just kiss.
'Cause then he has a girlfriend. I can't. Man.
Yeah.
Nothing. But yeah, like Hans Zimmer, Justin Hurwitz. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Yeah, that's all I am.
That guy pops up a lot. Natalie Hall. I'm gonna give out a shout out to her. That Loki album, that Loki soundtrack.
Yeah, I knew
Fire.
that sounded familiar. Yep.
But yeah, like thematic music. Cause I've just been like a lot of studying and doing like research this past week.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with DJO or Joe. Steve
DJ, wait.
Harrington.
Oh, God.
Joe Keery.
So for people don't realize this, but Jared is obsessed with what's his name again?
Steve Harrington.
Steve Harrington.
The character.
That's the character, right? That's
Yes.
not the person.
No, the person is Joe Keery.
Okay.
But so my love for the character and the actor came first from Stranger Things. But I didn't go to his band or his music until I heard one of his songs on the alternative radio. So I didn't even know he had a band until I heard him on the radio and then did my research. I just loved him on Stranger Things.
Do you remember which one that was?
Yeah, it was Mortal Projections, which is my favorite Joe song. It is pronounced Joe.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
He just said that he wanted to be like.
Is it spelled
clever.
weird or something?
DJO is how it's spelled.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's weird.
Okay.
But I've said his last album, Decide, which came out 2020. I should know this, but it came out recently, and when that album came out, it's one of those albums where you listen to it from beginning to end and it flows with each other. So I love albums like that. There's some instrumental songs on there.
You're close.
What
22.
What genre is this? Like, give
Alternative.
me an idea. Okay.
Yeah,
He sounds like
Like, what would it be like? Give me a.
almost like alternative
Comparison.
pop, but it's not like pop. Like,
Give me like
Taylor
a
Swift.
like a.
I'm
like a
I'm
comp.
trying to think of a
Let's look at his like related artist.
MGMT.
Yes.
Okay.
Um,
I love MGMT.
Or like hers.
Hers, yeah. I don't. They're I know there's a band I can probably think of that you would.
If it's like MGMT, I'll take a listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very alternative-y, very indie alternative.
Okay.
That's literally just describing the genre that it is. We'll listen to some of it on the way home.
It's kind of like Cage the Elephant, like you said, MGMT. That kind of
Okay,
like
that's a good
alternative.
one. So
Yeah.
KG
you know Cage the Elephant?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of
Backseat Lovers.
there's a lot of that in there. The Cars, he's very inspired by the Cars.
Okay.
So like the style of the vocals. I'm just trying to describe like what the music sounds like. It's very like synth
Yes. Like
heavy
80s.
in a lot of stuff. It's so unique. Like and like I'm only like passionate about it because I remember when that album came out and it didn't get as much love as I thought it would, and now his song End of Beginning is getting steam on TikTok, and now all of a sudden
everywhere.
now all of a
That's
sudden
all
it's
it
everywhere,
takes. You gotta get it on
and then
TikTok.
now people know about it. But that's not even the best song on the album, and
Yeah,
it's,
it never
it's
is.
exploding.
It never is.
Yeah.
I love Chateau too from the other one.
Yeah, he has a couple albums and singles, EPs and stuff, and he's fresh. Like it's the lyrics are good. I can't talk about him too much, but yeah.
I was gonna
that's
say, if you guys like, your goal should be, if you have one person in your life, right, that like how Jared just spoke about this man, like that's
Yep.
the goal. That's what you want to find. Find someone that worships you
Yep.
like that.
Oh, I would. I'd do anything to see him live.
Anything?
Yeah.
Anything.
I'll end you. It looked like a bloody accident. Cat in the Hat reference. Anyway, guys. Joe, Decide album. That's my recommendation. Manny said Bring Me the Horizon. Will said a lot of
Zimmer.
instrumental guys. Hans Zimmer, Natalie Holt, Justin Hurwitz, La La Land guy. Great.
Interstellar soundtrack.
Yeah.
Fire.
Classic. This is a good week for music recommendations. All right, guys. Well, that was good. Next week we've got Barely Legal and Dancing Shoes. We've got our bonus episodes coming up, guys, so stay tuned for those. Again, feedback is wanted. All our socials, Karma and Tranquility, and then Twitter is Karma Tranquil because they suck and they can't give me more characters. We are on Reddit, but I usually post from my own because I just have more karma, so I feel like it like gets seen by you guys a little bit more. But keep up the comments. We fucking love you guys and we appreciate you guys always. Episodes on Wednesdays, bonuses on Friday. Everyone have a safe and lovely night. We will see you and talk to you soon.
Enjoy your Ramadan.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that, yes.
Hey guys, Jared here. Thank you for listening to the episode. You can find us at Karma and Tranquility on Instagram and Reddit, and Karma Tranquil on Twitter. Our link tree is posted in our description and bios for you to find everything we have to offer. We post a full episode every Wednesday and a bonus episode every Friday.